Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking an absolutely massive paradigm shift in the world of tech management. Yep, we're talking about ITIL version 5. If you manage technology, you already know the landscape is hyper-complex. It's moving faster than ever, and let's face it, it's practically running on AI. So ITIL v5 steps in as this modern operating system designed to really master our new digital reality.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts, we've got to ask a pretty blunt question. Is traditional IT service management, good old ITSM, really enough for an AI-driven world? I mean, for decades, IT was just this back-office service. Today, the technology is the product. With AI baked into almost every workflow, just managing isolated IT outputs, yeah, that just doesn't cut it anymore.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap. We're going to cover the shift to DPSM, the ITIL value system, the expanded 8-step value chain, the AI-native framework, AI governance and trust, and finally, the new ITIL certification path.
All right, kicking things off with number 1, the shift to DPSM, moving from service management to digital products.
You know, this shift is really a necessary evolution. We're fundamentally reframing established practices here. In the past, the scope was mostly limited to managing the life cycle of IT services. Well, ITIL v5 expands this out to cover the whole spectrum of digital relevance, governing end-to-end digital operating models. So now, a digital product means everything from a tech-enabled smart pen to a smartphone to purely digital software. It's a huge expansion in scope, moving us squarely into digital product and service management, or DPSM for short.
Moving on to number 2, the ITIL value system. This is the engine of value co-creation.
The literal engine powering this whole new paradigm is the ITIL value system, or VS, which is basically a simplified version of the old service value system. It's a completely holistic model. It shifts the focus entirely away from delivering isolated outputs and moves it towards shared, continuous value. And crucially, it highlights that your organization forms an ecosystem. You're co-creating value right alongside your consumers and your partners.
That brings us to part 3, the expanded 8-step value chain. These are the workflows powering the value system.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how the workflows have evolved. Previously, the service value chain had 6 activities, right? Well, ITIL v5 expands this into an 8-step value chain. Discover, design, acquire, build, transition, operate, deliver, and support. Think of these like modular stepping stones. Real-life organizations basically combine different variations of these activities to build a customized value chain that perfectly fits their unique operating model.
Just to ground this in reality for a second, let's zoom in on just one of these steps, the build activity. This is that absolutely crucial step where abstract designs are transformed into working, functional solutions. They're developed, integrated, and tested way before they ever move to the transition phase. Every single step in the chain is defined with this exact level of operational clarity in ITIL v5.
Okay, number 4, the AI-native framework. ITAR v5 in the age of generative AI.
This is where things get truly cutting edge. ITIL v5 asks us to recognize AI not just as a tool, but as an intelligent engine that actively participates in service management. This gets broken down into the ITIL AI capability model, which is also known as the 6C model. It classifies AI into 6 core functions: creation, curation, clarification, cognition, communication, and coordination. And in the real world, use cases almost always combine several of these together to solve complex problems.
So what do these 6 Cs actually look like day to day? Well, AI can now efficiently process just vast amounts of data to generate software code, or fully automate your documentation, run highly advanced risk models, and even use predictive maintenance to solve incidents before a user even realizes there's a problem. It's dramatically increasing the speed and effectiveness of human teams across the board. Real game-changer stuff.
Moving to number 5, AI governance and trust. This is all about the essential human co-pilot.
Because, with great power comes great responsibility. You can't just unleash AI into your systems without some serious guardrails. The framework actually notes, and I quote, "Ethics act as the moral compass for AI. Without ethical guardrails, automation can easily drift into bias or unfairness. Because AI operates with such incredible speed and autonomy, traditional operational risks are suddenly compounded by brand new threats like model bias or opaque decision-making. And that is exactly why ITIL v5 introduces a standalone module entirely dedicated to AI governance.
This AI governance ecosystem is built on 4 really practical pillars.
First up is AI ethics, which is all about ensuring fairness and preventing bias. Second, data governance, protecting privacy and managing compliance. Third is performance governance, which combats model drift to make sure accuracy doesn't degrade over time. And fourth, human oversight. This is that crucial human-in-the-loop concept, ensuring an AI doesn't just override critical escalation rules and that real humans are actually reviewing high-stakes decisions. Basically, AI is a co-pilot. It's not an unchecked boss.
And finally, Section 6, the new ITIL certification path, validating your future-ready skills.
Let's see how this builds out your actual qualifications. With all these new concepts, the certification path naturally had to evolve to make sure you're future-ready. The foundation block at the very bottom, ITIL Foundation, remains the sole prerequisite across all core modules. But once you have that locked in, the pathways completely open up, giving you the flexibility to specialize as a practice manager, a managing professional, or a strategic leader.
There are also some really cool, incredibly relevant new modules to highlight. For instance, ITL Transformation gets you acting on strategy right away, and you can take it immediately after Foundation. Then there's ITL Experience, which shifts the focus to improving the actual human experience of managing and using digital products. And of course, that specialized ITL AI governance module we just talked about, ensuring you have the official skills to oversee and manage AI ecosystems safely.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. How future-ready is your organization's service management? We've explored the leap from ITSM to digital product management, the new 8-step value chain, the 6C model, and exactly why AI governance is basically non-negotiable in this new era. The tools and the frameworks are out there, so the only question left is, will you hold on to the past, or are you going to rethink your operating models to fully embrace this AI-native paradigm? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.